The Chicago Bears released their first unofficial depth chart on Tuesday, and we're breaking it down here on today's episode of Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. I've got instant reaction plus my top 5 takeaways from the Bears' first unofficial depth chart. I think it's important to throw that distinction in there heading into the preseason opener against the Tennessee Titans. Let's go ahead and dive in here. Stock clearly seems to be down on Trevis Gipson and Kindle Vildor. I don't think there's any question about that. I know I threw a question mark on there, but if we're taking these depth charts to heart a bit, it's not a great sign for a pair of former Ryan Pace picks. You look at the defensive line depth chart, Trevis Gipson wasn't even on the 3 deep. He's the 4th defensive end behind DeMarcus Walker, Rasheem Green, and Terrell Lewis on that side. Obviously, Yannick Ngakoue, Dominique Robinson. Undrafted free agent D'Anthony Jones listed higher than Gipson. I think that's pretty damn notable. You look at cornerback when it comes to Kindle Vildor. Now, full disclosure, the Bears only went 2 starting corners. They kind of sat in base defense on this depth chart, so they went 3 linebackers, 2 corners, but we know Kyler Gordon's going to be the nickel. I'm giving Tyreek Stevenson the edge, but him and Terrell Smith were on the same line with the 2s, so I think that competition is ongoing. But Vildor was not only behind Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, and Terrell Smith, he was also behind Greg Stroman, Josh Blackwell, Michael Ojemudia, and Jalen Jones. He's CB9 according to this. And I know they're going to say, don't take this depth chart, for gospel and this and that. But it kind of feels like it could be the end of the road for a couple of former Ryan Pace draft picks, right? 2 day 3 guys back in 2020. They're in the final year of their rookie contract. You can save a couple $1,000,000 if you cut these 2 guys if you're Ryan Poles. So I think if nothing else, a message was probably sent to Trevis Gipson and Kindle Vildor like, hey, man, y'all want to be on this team like y'all have been the last 3 years? These preseason games are going to matter. The rest of training camp is going to matter. So I think that message has been sent, and we'll see how they respond starting on Saturday. Now, what would be the bigger surprise, in your opinion, among these potential cut candidates? Like, which would surprise you more? Type TG for Trevis Gipson or KD for Kindle Vildor? I do think Gipson would be a bigger surprise to me, even though you just added Yannick Ngakoue, because we've seen Gipson play pretty well in this league. I know last year he didn't play that well, and maybe that's what Flus and the staff are recognizing, that the scheme shift from a 3-4 to a 4-3 just hasn't suited him for whatever reason. I thought it would help him with his frame and being more built as a true 4-3 defensive end, but I would still say that's more notable because I think the Bears have beefed up corner over the past couple of years a little bit more than edge. And I just think Gipson has a little more talent at his position than Vildor does at his, but it's possible that both these guys are gone. Is Velus Jones Jr. a lock for the 53-man roster? Seems like it's trending that way. He's had a bit of an up and down camp, but I think more positive than negative. Now, the Bears released a depth chart and then later fixed it. Like at first, Velus Jones was listed behind Dante Pettis, and I think the people in the Bears building were like, whoa, that's incorrect. So they did correct things on that front. But, he still has some work to do overall as Equinemius St. Brown does appear to be that listed wide receiver for right now. Velus is competing with guys like Tyler Scott. But I think more importantly for Velus Jones Jr. is he is listed as the starting kick returner and the starting punt returner for this team on special teams. Like that's going to help him out a lot. Now, he needs to back that up, right? Like he can't afford to muff any punts in the preseason. If he muffs even one, that could change things quickly. If Pettis gets healthy and is that reliable punt returner that he's been, that's going to help his chances out tremendously. But I think with Pettis being out and with Velus having a fairly strong camp up to this point and improving at tracking the football on punts, which is something Richard Hightower has pointed out, he's in a good position right now. Now, we haven't even played a preseason game yet. So a lot of this stuff can change over the course of the next 2.5 weeks. But up to this point, I think Velus is in a good spot. So what do you guys think? Is Velus Jones a lock to make this team? Type L if you do think he's a lock. I think he's close, but not there yet. Type B if you think he's on the roster bubble. I think he's somewhere in between. I think he's safe for now, but I don't think he's quite a lock yet. Like Tyler Scott's a lock, right? Like they're not going to cut the 4th-round rookie who's had a strong camp. But Velus Jones, all good so far. Hopefully he's able to stack more good practices and have a couple of good preseason games here. Appreciate Rocket Money for sponsoring today's show. Are you tired of wasting money on unnecessary subscriptions? Well, the reality is you probably don't even realize how many subscriptions you have. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Most people think that they're spending around $80 per month on their subscriptions, when in reality, that number is closer to $200. When you sign up for so many things like streaming services, you used to watch one or two shows a while back, but you're still getting charged monthly. You probably didn't cancel it, or it was too much of a hassle to cancel it straight through their providers that you just gave up on it. Well, Rocket Money can help you cancel a service with the simple click of one button. You click on a subscription, which they're going to have all listed for you on the Rocket Money app. Click cancel. They're going to handle it for you, or at least direct you to the easiest way to do so. Rocket Money can even negotiate to lower your bills for you by up to 20%. Think about how much money you could save there. All you have to do is take a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Get started with Rocket Money today and start viewing your subscriptions. Decide which ones you want to get rid of. You can set budgets with Rocket Money. You can lower some of your bills. Find competitive offers with different utility providers if you want to lower your monthly spending there. RocketMoney.com/Bears now. Download the app today. That link is going to direct you to the App Store to download the app, and use our link because it helps supports us, supports our sponsors, and we're able to continue to plug out videos for you guys. RocketMoney.com/Bears now. Download the app today and start monitoring your spending on a day-to-day basis, and more importantly, a monthly basis to lower your monthly spending. Next up on my Bears depth chart takeaways, Trestan Ebner. Is he ahead of Travis Homer? Well, on the depth chart, he is. Again, unofficial. I think a lot of this stuff will get played out, but this was something I was keeping a close eye on heading into training camp is Trestan Ebner, Travis Homer. Who kind of earns that special teams back with pass-catching ability? Because that's kind of both of what they are. Homer's been in the NFL longer, is more proven in this league, but Ebner, I liked his profile coming out of Baylor as a potential kick returner and as a pass catcher. Now, last year, he didn't show much at all. I think it's notable that Roschon Johnson is already RB3, even though he's missed a decent chunk of training camp practice. He's clearly safe, along with Khalil Herbert and Deontay Foreman. But if the Bears carry 4 running backs, it's going to come down to Ebner and Homer, and it seems like, at least on paper, that Ebner has the slight advantage so far. I think a lot of that gets worked out in the preseason. Don't miss out if the Bears make a roster move, like they cut one of these players or sign somebody. We're going to make a video. I mean, we broke down the Lachlan Pitts signing for you guys. I think we're going to bring you guys the latest Bears news and rumors. Subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way you never miss a video here on Chicago Bears Now. It's youtube.com/Bears Now, and turn on those noties once you subscribe. Couple more here. Larry Borom, is he locked in as the swing tackle? I don't think he's locked in, but I think he's got the early advantage there. I think a couple of things stand out on the offensive line depth chart. He's the backup left tackle, which I think would give him the advantage at swing tackle, especially considering Aviante Collins, who they signed right at the start of training camp, is the backup right tackle. You would have to think Borum's got the advantage there. And I'll add another note in here, too. Alex Leatherwood has worked primarily at left guard as Tevin Jenkins' backup. He got some starting reps when Jenkins missed a couple of practices. And I just want to make that point, too. I think Leatherwood is better at guard than he is at tackle. So I like that move. It's nice to have the versatility, like if he absolutely has to kick out to play tackle in a game or something like that, you can still give him some snaps at tackle in the preseason, too, if you want. But I think his skill set is better suited inside, so I would focus on him there if I'm the Bears. I think that gives him the better chance of making this team and being potentially a piece down the road. But Larry Borom, early inside track to be the swing tackle. I want to see how he looks in the preseason, and quite frankly, this entire offensive line, because in training camp, sounds like it's been a bit up and down for that group. The D-line has had the better of them so far. Do the Bears need to sign an offensive lineman? What do you think? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Definitely think it's possible. I think if the depth pieces, which I have questions about, underwhelm in the preseason, there could be some shuffling there, especially after roster cut-down day here in a few weeks before week 1. So Y for yes and for no. Let me know what you guys think. And then this last one, and I think it's kind of obvious, but the fact that it's already kind of penciled in that way, Yannick Ngakoue, Mercedes Lewis, their roles kind of already seem to be clear and defined on this football team, right? Yannick Ngakoue, I think with younger players, rookies and stuff, when you first come in, you start kind of at the bottom of the depth chart and you have to prove your way up. Well, before Ngakoue even stepped on the practice field yesterday, he was already penciled in as one of your starting edge rushers. So I think that's pretty clear. And then Marcedes Lewis, and this is what I thought his role would be before they signed him, if they ever did. He's your third tight end. I think that's a perfect role for him. He's going to play, anywhere from 30 to 50% of snaps. He'll be used almost exclusively as a blocker, kind of an extra lineman, especially up in the red zone and stuff like that, clear running downs. And, if you have to throw it to him on a check down every now and again, he's sure-handed. But that's going to be his role. Kmet and Tunyon, they're going to catch a lot. Obviously, Kmet became a better blocker last year. Lewis, you're strictly a blocker. You're going to make this team. And when you add in the fact that Matt Eberflus called Yannick Ngakoue a three-down player, then yes, he's going to be penciled in as a starter. He's going to play 70+% of the snaps. He wants to prove this year that he can be a solid run stopper. I hope that comes to fruition. Either way, he's going to play a lot because of his pass rushing ability. And then, like I said, Lewis he's the clear number 3 tight end for this team, and he will play that role well, I think, because he is such a good blocker. All right, there you have it. My 5 takeaways from the first Bears unofficial depth chart. Stock down on Trevis, Gipson, and Kindle Vildor. It certainly seems that way. Velus Jones, close to a lock maybe for the 53. I don't think he's quite there yet, but I think the Bears like where he is. Treston Ebner ahead of Travis Homer on paper. We'll see if that's actually the case. I'm fascinated to see the running backs play in this first preseason game. Larry Borum, the swing tackle advantage early. I don't think he's locked down that job, but I think he's got the early nod there. And then Yannick Ngakoue, Marcedes Lewis, their roles certainly appear to be clear cut. All right, guys, I'm Harrison Graham. Appreciate you for tuning in. We'll see you guys later today.